single day.
Can I ask a question?
Of course, sir. Yeah, that's why I'm here.
All right. My name is Andy. I'm a reporter for Charlotte County COPWATCH. Yes.
Nice to meet you.
What is your opinion of groups like ours that hold police accountable?
Oh, well, I think anybody running for leadership right now, especially in the form of being the top cop,
Correct.
prosecutor, would say, number one, we will support our men and women in law enforcement, make sure they have the resources to do their job and protect their ranks. But if there are issues within our system or within our ranks, that we want to make sure that we effectively address that quickly and responsibly.
So that's why I started COPWATCH 5 years ago in Charlotte County, because I don't think it's happening. In Charlotte County, it's almost like asking the mafia to investigate the mafia. Where, yes, since I've been there, they have busted kind of through internal investigations some people, but it was the thing that they busted for was bad enough. They should have been charged with a crime, and they were not. Well, so they're just letting them walk, quit, retire. I mean, how does that make it right?
Well, all I can tell you is that anyone running for office should say and recognize that law enforcement needs to be men and women of integrity in order for our nation and our state to function the way it was meant to function, to truly, fairly, and unbiasedly enforce the rule of law. Correct. You want to make sure you have leaders that will address when that's not the case.
Can I ask one more that our state attorney is not, Pam Bondi's not responding to right now? We have tons of sunshine law violations. Isn't it our right to bring it to you guys? Who do we bring it to? The state attorney or to you to help deal with all the sunshine law violations?
Florida, as you know, is an open state. It encourages,
to a point.
It encourages.
That's what we do.
Giving information to those that are seeking it.
Correct.
And I would encourage you to follow up in all the statutory and agency ways that you can get information.
We've tried the state attorney. They tell us to go to FDLE. They tell us to go to Pam Bondi. So here we have sunshine law.
I hope to earn your support and get in the office so you can come to me.
All right, I will come to you. Good to meet you.
Police use who may want to retaliate.
Are you in the How are you?
Ashley.
Good to meet you again. I met you before.
Chris.
How are you?
I just wanted to meet you.
I'm glad you did. Thanks. This is my husband, Justin.
How you doing, Dustin? Justin? How you doing?
Hey, can I mention one thing? I know you've told before a couple times. Are you one of the I was the one that broke the, remember when I showed you? I was the one that broke the story on the on-list stuff that's happening here. Do you know where that's going? I tried to contact your office like 2 times in 1 month.
What is this?
Okay, so as you know, the 790.325, we're not supposed to mess with the phone list, gathering names, and you can have that. Gathering names and, profiling them. They're only supposed to get the gun and serial number. They're actually getting the names and profiling.
Okay.
And in 790, it actually says if proof is shown to you that you and the state attorney here is actually supposed to investigate.
Okay, well, I will take it and take a look at it. I'm embarrassed to tell you I can't read a word.
No, it's all right.
I can't see anything.
By the way, I did give
I'm embarrassed.
I gave the state attorney here. I did an affidavit, swore it out, notarized and everything, and they said they investigated.
I need you for a moment.
Okay.
And that's why he's taking away. Okay?
I will look at it. I promise. I'll look at it.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
COPWATCH, policing the police every single day.
I'm to Florida to see you, but I'm pretty sure they will arrest me after the story I break tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we at some point, yeah, you want to get into that?
Yeah, let's get into that while I'm taking a look at this. Do you want to
Yeah, Babyface doesn't know the stuff that's breaking tomorrow, does he?
No, I have no idea. I've followed. I've read the article today, and we talked about it. Hank and I just, personally talked about it a little bit yesterday. But so what is the? Do you want to tell people what's going on with the sheriff?
Let's start with the article that you just put out, John, in MLN News.
I'm interested in what sort of documentation he was keeping.
Okay. Yeah, we actually got a copy of it. I sent it to Hank so I can put it up on the screen later. Basically, what is going on is that in Charlotte County, Florida, the sheriff there has been using. There's a system called Finder that keeps all the pawn transactions. When you pawn something, you lend it. You put it up as collateral to a pawn shop, and they give you money. Then
this is a redacted list I'm throwing up right now. So for anyone who listens,
remember they said
it's a list.
They keep.
It's a list. When I see name and all that kind of stuff in there, it's a list. Description, name, it's a list. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Let's start back over. Okay, in Charlotte County, the sheriff has been pulling data out of a system called Finder. Every time you pawn a gun or something, when you pawn something, you get a loan, but you give them something for collateral. A lot of people use guns as collateral. So at the end, they give you back your gun, and you pay them back. Well, the sheriff in Charlotte County has been storing that information of everyone's guns to make a list, and they've been running the names and serial numbers of the guns like daily to see if anyone was like convicted of a crime or something and now is a prohibited person, so they can say, oh, this guy's a prohibited person now and he owns this gun, because now they got a list.
That is super feloniously illegal.
Yeah,
it is.
That is so illegal.
It's a felony under Florida, right? But the Attorney General there has determined that there was no law violated because they claim that it's not a list.
Okay, so that's Ashley Moody, our Attorney General, who I know that when we did a combined video and we put up the put up that article on Amaland News, and I did hear back from someone who said Ashley Moody's pro-gun. She's definitely not. Yeah, she's not listening. She doesn't care about the Constitution of the state of Florida.
Clearly, she was the one that she was the one that said that we can police can take guns from anybody at any point for any reason, right? That was like
she said that you can be denied purchase of a gun
for any reason at any time,
and they don't have to have a reason, and they don't have to have any evidence. Is what you said, which is
listen, she was born in Plant City. They're a little backwards down there. You can't really.
Okay, hold on a second.
One more time, Hank.
Huh?
Can you throw up the graphic?
Let me throw up this list, and I just want people to know it's got description, shop, control number, first name, last name, date on it. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't know what you need to call it a list. Kevin, you can tell me.
According to them,
Kevin, you're the business guy here.
And they insisted to me that it was not a list.
So what is it? What did they tell you? What it was?
This is a list we're looking at. We're looking at a list right now.
Did they give you like a different term?
They just said it's information.
Yeah, well, fuck off.
So informative list is what it is.
Yeah. If you've got description, store, the first name, last name, dates, and all kinds of things, what does that compromise? Yeah, in a spreadsheet.
The ATF isn't allowed to keep a spreadsheet, and they complain about it because they can't track things as easily. The ATF can't keep a spreadsheet. Can you? What? How is? Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is insanity that this guy has it's not a list.
Here's the thing. And when John and I were talking about this, I was wondering, because we've got 60 counties here in Florida, I was wondering if anyone else is doing it, John, and I think you've got some info on that, right? If other counties are up to this?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That might be a hint. What's coming out tomorrow?
It's coming out tomorrow.
Are we talking widespread, or is it not quite widespread?
A little teaser. I haven't been able to find a county that's not doing it.
We actually got a lot of feedback. We got a lot of feedback from that article and from that video, and we heard from the people. Who is it, John? Is it the COPWATCH people? And
absolutely getting in on it.
Some whistleblowers have also contacted me that want to remain anonymous. They can't say, well, yeah, it's COPWATCH guy, and some other people are like, yeah, you need to look into this. And so I have about 80 or 90 pieces of documents I'm going through. I've been going through them. all day. That's why I've been busy. And after I get off here, I'm going to be going through them probably all night.
Yeah. Now we redacted stuff, and probably John can't talk about this, but like as he hinted here, I know that I spoke to someone that said that pretty much if you read between the lines, all of these 60 counties, or most of them, are doing something along the lines of this. And some of them have like there's some big numbers if you want to know how big the list is.
Yeah, I got about 40,000.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's some big numbers out there. And the reason why I think this needs to come out, because people in Florida need to stop going for this. If the Attorney General, if she won't look at it, it's been going on actually for 6 years, right? At least something like
13 is as far back as I traced it. It could be more than that, but the leaked emails and everything go back to 2013.
Do the people that are doing this know that it's illegal and are doing it consciously knowing, or do they just feel like it's for the better good? Sort of thing? You
mean the people by saying law enforcement officers elected?
Yeah.
They were pretty snooty to me when I got in touch with them, and I got comments. They were like, the Attorney General says it's not a list, so it's not a list. There's nothing else.
Yeah. That's how that works.
I'm like, really?
So who's taking them to court? I'm in. How do we class action this?
Give me a week.
Okay. Yeah. We need to get this story going. Matt Das Cowboy says, is it all from pawn shops? I know you're digging into all this info right now, John.
Yeah,
is it all pawn shops?
It's all pawn shops. Matt is a guy that's actually a producer on my show.
Oh, okay. Now, technically, a gun store, even if it's not a pawn shop, a gun store, if you sell a used gun back to a gun shop, they still have to go through the same thing, right? So.
Yeah. It's mostly for pawn shops, but any used gun store. Mm-hmm. It's just for like stolen property. Everything.
I was gonna say, is that what this is for?
Well, that's what it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're not using it for that.
Yeah. So even if you trade in your gun, if you're buying a gun and you're trading in guns, or for whatever reason you're selling a gun or something like that, you're going to wind up in this system, and they're going to run you. What was that, John?
Or if you're putting on consignment and it doesn't sell and you get it back.
Yeah. Because now in the state of, I don't know how many states are doing exactly this, but in Florida, if you take a gun, you put it on consignment in the gun store, when you go to get that gun back, if it doesn't sell, you've got to get checked out on that.
That's nationwide. It's you have to fill out a 4473.
Yeah. So, this problem probably exists outside of Florida as well. Then,
I would probably guess. And usually, what happens is when I break a story like this, other information start rolling in. More people in other departments from outside the state will start leaking information to me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, John, can I ask you a question, just for clarity? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure I heard you correctly. You did say that this was a sheriff you caught doing this, right?
This was a sheriff.
Okay, so I want to pause right there. This is what I mean by people having blue blindness. Now, this is coming from somebody who worked for a PD. You have to understand something, people, and this is in response to the comment from, I believe it's Applebite is what it's supposed to be. The comment is, it's not Leo's, it's the Democratic-ran counties. Stop for a second. It's the sheriff, okay?
It's not the Democratic.
It has nothing to do with, nothing is more concerning. I don't even get upset. It's just concerning that every time a branch of the government that is called law enforcement does something, we want to run and skedaddle and blame it on politics. No. This was, now sheriffs, most of them, and I assume him too, probably is an elected official, but this is a law enforcement officer that is overstepping his boundaries. And if the attorney general of that state is supporting it, he then has the support of the government. But this is the law enforcement branch of the government that's overreaching. You guys have to stop believing that the only time law enforcement is overstepping their boundaries is when it comes to URPOs. The urban community has been telling you for years, tyranny is happening here. They're violating us here. And then when it starts knocking on your doors in the suburbs, you want to start acting like, oh, no, it's still not the cops. It's the Democrats. That ain't Hillary, son. That's your sheriff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of the places are like police chiefs as well, and it seems to be happening in Republican control counties and in Democratic control counties.
And I'm glad you said that too. So now we can take the elected official part out and we just get straight to police chiefs. People have to start realizing that when it comes to tyranny, all right, and this is a minute way of it, right? It has to start somewhere. So when it comes to somebody keeping an illegal list about you, all right, start here, you kind of test the water, see where you can go from there. They are not going to knock on your door with a certain color on saying, hey, I'm the Democratic councilman, I'm here to take your guns. Do you not think that Republicans, libertarians, whatever you want to call them, Democrats, if somebody wants to rain tyranny upon you, they are going to use the law enforcement branch to enforce laws they know are wrong to get you to comply. Please, for the love of God. It does not mean that you don't love your firefighters, your police officers, your EMS people. Has nothing to do with that. You can love them till you are literally blue in the face. Has everything to do with the fact that there are people out there that want to strip you and take away your rights. John is opening your eyes to that right in front of your face, talking to you about it tonight, saying he has to spend most of his day-to-day, and even when he gets off here, more of his time tonight going through the documents to release even more information. Please stop trusting law enforcement. They work for the same government you claim is tyrannical.
I want to say something too. Any law enforcement out there, I want to remind you, you took an oath to the Constitution, not to the sheriff or the police chief.
Yeah, I think I don't think this is just a thing that's on the side of the Democrats, Kevin. So I definitely would agree with you on that. I think that there's lots of guys doing this. Maybe some of them are deliberately, ignoring what we're talking about here. Maybe some of them just aren't even thinking about what it is they're doing. But the way, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, the way this is supposed to work, you take something, you're selling it, you take a gun, you're selling it to the store, a pawn shop, or whatever. They just supposed to make sure that that thing is not stolen. After that, that record's supposed to disappear, right?
They disappear, but they're exporting it out. They're basically data mining it. And more to Kevin's point, the AG of Florida is a Republican.
Yeah, I mean, in Florida, like, it's more than half our counties have to be Republican, I'm assuming.
Applebite, I don't know how to help you. Applebite, I honestly, I don't know how to help you. When you come back and your response is, first you're trying to say it's not the law enforcement officers. Now you're trying to say that all government officials aren't tyrannical. Of course they're not tyrannical. Everybody that is standing in their local city council offices, or even senators, some of these people really do mean the right thing. They are really trying to. Every single politician is not a crook. Nobody's saying that. There are people that hold those offices that are legitimately trying to do the right thing. Sometimes they get caught up in bad situations, but they are trying to do the right thing. What you need to stop doing is hiding. Stop trying to hide behind excuses. And I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to people that share that mentality. It is the American people that are trying to keep at bay, especially when people like John release this kind of information. We have to pay attention to it because we're trying to keep these kind of efforts at bay, because if we allow these efforts to go via your excuses, then that gives them courage to do more things. And then we'll make excuses for that. And then they do more things. And next thing you know, we're looking up 20 years later, and we're all sitting here playing with stick figures because we can't have our rights anymore. And then if we say the wrong thing, then they'll be knocking on your door, dragging you out your house, taking you down to jail like they do in the UK when you say something they don't like. Stop, for the love of God.
That's the craziest.
Yeah. This needs to get out there. I don't care if you go ahead and copy my article and put it on your website and say that you wrote it and plagiarized the whole article. I don't want credit. I mean, I'll take credit, but I don't need credit. We just need to get this out there so people know what's going on.
And here's the thing, like, I think, let's say you're dealing with your kids, right? And they do something wrong, and you explain to them, hey, this is wrong. You have to look at their reaction to when you're telling them that this thing is wrong, right?
All right.
So if they go, oh, okay, now I understand why this is wrong, I'm not going to do this anymore, that's one thing. If their reaction to it is, oh, no, this is not wrong, because technically this is not a list.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah. Then
if
it doesn't
play
really
semantics to prove that it's not wrong. Then it's wrong.
Yeah, and it absolutely doesn't matter what political party or anything like that they're in. I mean, You know, wrong is just wrong. And I think like here in Florida, everywhere else, you know, I always say this to people. We had this conversation 2 years ago when Rick Scott was running for the Senate, and I refused to support him or vote for him to become a senator after he put gun control laws in effect in Florida. And people are like, oh, then you want to vote for the Democrats. What difference does it make? It doesn't make any difference. If you get a Democrat and they're outright saying they're gonna take your guns away and put in gun control, or you get a Republican who is putting in gun control and taking people's guns away, what's the difference here? Just like a R or a D? There's no difference.
What people need to do?
Huh?
You know what people need to do?
What?
Right back here. This is where they need to be on November 2nd.
November 2nd. Good way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The U.S. Capitol.
At 1 o'clock. Well, we start at 2 o'clock, right? No, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you need to be at the Capitol building.
Yeah. You guys want to get into this? Patrick, do you have something to add?
No, I'm just laughing to myself because I'm watching. Hold.
Hey, Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch. I am using any video here with under fair use. If you have criticism, reporting, teaching, etc., and please donate. I do not make money from YouTube, and there are different ways to donate in the video links. Thanks.